So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Day 22. Hey, it's the voice inside your speaker box, LaTangela Fay. And welcome back to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. It does my heart well to have this time together where we're going to unplug, unwind, and we're going to go through it. I'm talking about the random research because I am the queen of random research. If I read it, I got to tell it to someone, so I might as well tell it to you. Buckle up and enjoy this ride. I've even got the inside scoop, and we're going to see who's making headline news and why. But we're going to highlight those who's making headline news for all of the right reasons. Unplugging, unwinding, tapping in just a tad. And you never know who's going to be in the hot seat or on the tan line, but I've got questions that need answers. If you would like to be a guest, all you have to do is submit your information at latangela.com. Let's chat. Today, it's like so much going on. I have two guests, and I'm going to separate it because I want you to be able to digest this. Somebody's going to give you some of this, and another will give you a whole lot of that. But wow. Imagine being on top of your game. Running it, like literally running the scene, winning every time you turn around. And then one false positive turns the world upside down on you. ESPN, they have this new documentary right now with the 30 for 30 series. It's called False Positive. Now, with that, they are highlighting none other than Butch Reynolds. He is one of the world's greatest track athletes. He is the former world record holder for the 400-meter dash. The man was on top of his game, and the next day, there was something that happened that just changed the trajectory of his life. Yeah, we're going to get the inside scoop, fighting to clear his name, and even now in this moment with the 30 for 30 series, the documentary that's taking place with the false positive and having to relive that. Man, it's going to get a little tight, but you cannot afford to miss it. It's streaming right now on ESPN Plus, but we've got the inside scoop coming up with none other than Butch Reynolds. He's in the hot seat and on the tan line. And it does my heart well to have one of my all-time childhood favorite shows come back. They were like in full effect for about 7 years. And when I grow up, I would love to be a gladiator. How about you? No lie. American Gladiators, they are making their way back courtesy of Amazon Prime Video. And I have the co-founder of the American Gladiators in the hot seat on the tan line, Johnny Ferrero. And I've already placed my bid, but I'm not going without you. They are now looking for you, contestants, to be on the American Gladiators. So if you think you've got what it takes, come on through. But I need to talk to the visionary to see what the vision is so we can get it clear. I got the inside scoop coming up for you. The return is upon us, and I am here for it, my friend. Major props going out to some of those who are making headline news for all of the right reasons. In this season, I teamed up with Gordon McKern and Andrea Attorneys with Gordon Gives and 10 Cares. And you, the community, you have been chiming in at 225bulletinboard.com, nominating teachers, and of course the team members and all of those who are giving day in and day out to pour into our babies. Well, every month we select two winners. Each will receive $250 and some space on our billboards just as a token of our appreciation to say thank you. We see you. We know we cannot do this without you. Keep those nominations rolling at 225bulletinboard.com. For this month, we're going to highlight none other than Mr. Guy Morgan of Bruley High School. They have him listed as the teacher, assistant football coach, assistant basketball coach, all things that's great. He is that guy. And congratulations also in order for none other than Michelle Lewis James. and the crowd goes wild. They have her listed from Coppermill Elementary School in special education, pouring into those babies day in and day out. Now, I want to give you just a little bit, because when these nominations come through and we as a team, we sit there and we go through, we have to have our tissue somewhere close, because, oh my goodness, just to hear about these great people that's doing so much. A simple line: Mr. Morgan goes above and beyond in creating interactive and challenging lesson plans and activities for his classes. He often uses his own funds to purchase online content that aligns with the course standards, showing his commitment to providing the best educational experience for his students. Moreover, he takes great pride in motivating students who choose non-traditional paths after high school by offering relevant information beyond the curriculum requirements. And that's just a tidbit on none other than Mr. Guy Morgan. Now, when it comes down to Miss Michelle Lewis James, everybody was chiming in for her, saying, this teacher has taught my son for the last 2 years. She goes beyond just being his teacher. She's family. She makes sure that he's okay when he's home, not feeling well. When something has been forgotten on his to-do list, she will call me and say, hey, did they remind you? She follows up and she treats the students as if they are her own. Teachers like her, they really don't get the recognition that they truly deserve. She gives them everything that they need and more to be productive citizens. And we would like to applaud none other than Miss Michelle Lewis James. Those are our 2 recipients this month. And I want you to place your nominations at 225bulletinboard.com. Again, that's 225bulletinboard.com. You know, sometimes it's hard. It's hard. Sharing is caring. I get it. But 1 in 4 Americans consider themselves car incompatible, because I can't do this. Every time I get in the car, a new study has found that I am not alone. 10% of men would consider it a deal breaker if they weren't compatible in the car with their mate. Meaning the radio station, if you're not listening to, hello, like your girl LaTangela is on right now. You're not listening, shameless plug, Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip hop and R&B. If you're not listening, like, what are you doing? Car incompatible. I feel you. Simple things. Now, something else that I was reading through, and there's a lot of truth in this. Internet and depression, they are linked. The internet and depression, they're linked. Excessive use on the internet is linked to depression. Too much time spent online, it leads to depression, partly because, it leaves less room for activities to promote mental health. And it's important that we check in. Did you get your steps in today? Mental, physical, spiritual, it's all important. But did you take time to put this device down to go outside and chase the sun, or let the sun chase you? Like, these are real questions that need answers. It also states that when we're on the internet excessively, we do fewer mentally beneficial activities such as exercise, socializing face-to-face. Does FaceTime count in that? Or no, kind of, sort of? Partly because we're too tired from the interactions with the electronic world. So put the devices down and spend more time with your family, your friends, and your loved ones. The Taste of Tan is being brought to you by a research publication called the JAMA Internal Medicine Research. I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm going to read it because I read it and I got to tell it to someone. Despite the use by date that's stamped on the bottle or stamped on the box, they're talking about over-the-counter drugs last much longer than you think. A study testing active ingredients in common over-the-counter drugs that supposedly expired 28 to 40 years earlier found that 86% were still as potent as they should be. First of all, who has kept these over-the-counter drugs for 28 to 40 years past the expiration date? Like, no. I don't care if the ingredients are still as potent or as active. I need to know, why do you still have it? Like, no, don't do that. We will respect the use by date around here, please and thank you. Oh, wow. 'Tis the season. It's summer. It is hot and it's still warming up. It's sweating through your shirt makes you just upset because this heat is on your last nerve, keep in mind that you are not alone. The temperature is definitely getting to us all. So now we have to put it top of mind to be more kind. Mm. Yeah, keep your cool. Pass an extra hug, just an air hug. Don't, it's too hot right now. It's 100 degrees on the dash. Just walk by and an air hug will suffice. I appreciate that. We're going to jump into it. I need you to catch up with none other than Mr. Butch Reynolds. He has a lot going on. This 30 for 30. Whew, ESPN, they got it all the way right. Chime in. Let me know your thoughts on this. It's still an active recovery, so to speak, because when your life is turned upside down by a false narrative and you have to fight day in and day out. But even all of these years later, you have to wonder, what if? What if that false positive never happened? But to see how he has changed his life around from that negative and turned it into a positive, he is definitely a source of inspiration. And Mr. Ferrara is going to give us the inside scoop as of how we can make a field trip as an American gladiator. So you be sure to keep it locked right where you have it. And feel free to drop me online at LaTangela.com.
Oh, we're doing an interview. Oh, hi.
Good morning, sunshine. I'm not at home, if that's for me. Take your time.
Okay.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Holding on yet holding on. I'm inching through the day. I'm kicking it off with a bang, and I have none other than the Butch Reynolds. So, I mean, life is looking up.
Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. My life is looking up too then. How about that?
I love it. And thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule because I know that you've been busy. Life is just doing the most right now. ESPN, they've got it together with this 30 for 30 as they present false positive. And I have a lot of questions that need answers. So I hope you've had your tea, a sip of coffee, or whatever it is you need. You got it? You good?
I still have it. You good to go?
Awesomeness. Now, whenever it comes down to people telling a story and creating narratives, it's all about perception, right? It's hard for you to be able to get there to tell a story, which is going to become our entertainment, but what is something that shaped your life. Tell me a little bit about the process of saying, I think now is the time for us to take it a step further and really push this narrative.
You know what? I can't take credit and say that it was on my time. I have to say it was on God's time,
Like
only
it.
because, I would have told the story, of course, the day after. And I did. I thought going to the Supreme Court of the United States with me telling the story this way, through the legal way. I didn't do this. This is the path I have to take. This is the pattern I have to take. And I was trying, not trying, I did that. When you go all the way to the Supreme Court, I'm representing myself, but I'm also representing, what I run for. I ran for the USA. I run for
Right.
the national USA team. And for me to go to the Supreme Court based on my individual rights and running and representing the country, that's where to me it gets like, okay, I had to go to the Supreme Court because of this false positive to clear my name. Now I need my federation to help me to clear my name with the international governing body. And
Right.
that's what the tricky thing does when they talk about the Olympics, because we are, NIL, the image likings is very important for us. And
Right.
when they released that I tested positive, I had no more opportunity when it came to the Olympics making money with my name and my
Now,
likings, and it's good for.
and with that, tell me a little bit about it because here it is, you're no stranger to touching that track. You are the best of the best. You're leading in the spirit of excellence. And it's just this one split incident that has just changed everything. You've worked all of your life to get on this stage and to dominate this stage. What did life look like for you after that Monaco experience?
Oh man, dismal, dismal, very, very tragic, very sad, um, uh, confused, um, didn't know what the world was about, didn't understand um, who you should believe in, who you should trust. Um, and of course, I'm glad I knew God because that was the only thing at the time that I can put you know, my faith in at that time, besides, of course, my parents and the people at that time, that intimate family part. and I say intimate family part too, because, you know, it touched everybody in a certain way, man, because the way the world, told the world that I tested positive was a very negative way. And, once they did that, I didn't know, and I'm glad I did not know that I wasn't going to change everybody's mind or everybody's mindset. I
Right.
thought I can change everybody's mindset by going through the process and exonerating my name. But
And you went
as
through
I
that
continue,
process,
yes,
and like you said, it was a lonely place. You didn't know who to trust. But even getting that false positive and knowing that you're on top of the world right now is just with that one split instance, somebody, anybody, you don't know if it's to your right or to your left, that has made this decision to say that, you know what, it's a little too powerful. He a little too fast. The only way that we can do what we need to do with our own agenda is to say, look, this false positive is going to let it just unfold the story. Do those type of thoughts run through your mind? Like there has to be something behind something. And you've had some time
oh
to sit there and think about it after the smoke is cleared. Because and look, I'm sitting here sizing it up like who kept coming in second and just couldn't take this whipping? Like I want to know.
no, I respect that, and you're absolutely right, and that goes across your mind because track and field was a very individual sport, and when I came on scene, like I said before, I was a team player. I was a football basketball player. I was not a track and field guy,
Get
and
out of
but then
here. Now hold on.
I
Now you
was
gonna
not.
tell me that with a straight face?
That I did not care for running at all. My mom made me get on that bus to go to that track meet, and I
Thanks,
bless her.
mom. Like
But no, I was not. So then when I got on the scene, it was different. I was recruited by a few people, on that, like a Carl Lewis, for example, and other people on that team was like recruiting Butch Reynolds. And I'm like, no, I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do, and
right,
I'm an individual. So when you say things like that, sometimes, I think that's the politics that I underestimated. Who didn't like my splash? Who didn't like this guy coming in here demanding $100,000 now? And the meat promoters love him. The fans love him. He's very personable. He's
yeah,
not arrogant. He's not cocky.
right.
He want to help everybody. Who is this guy? And everybody who was had that opportunity wasn't as uh, charismatic or charisma as I might have had that these other guys was trying to competition with me on, and I didn't understand that piece at the time.
Oui, but 2020 is everything. And moving forward, you know that you have to just kind of prepare yourself for any and everything, especially when you go into it with a heart of gold and you keep winning gold. And everybody
Right,
around you may not see it, they may not understand it. And although you're great at it, you're doing it in the spirit of excellence. And you understand that your relationship with God kept you where you needed to be, even while you were
right.
going through those valley lows. You know, in life today, as people are preparing to watch this, to them, they're going to walk away with something. But what is it that you want the average viewer who may not even be privy to the story? They don't know what's going on, but they're watching it. What is the walk away for them that you want them to receive?
It's funny because I experienced a couple things. When I set the world record, the walk was, man, he's the fastest man in the world.
Yeah.
Man, he's the best. And then it was like the false accusation. Oh, this man cheated. I mean, that was the scenario. He used drugs. Now I think that I would like to see this guy. This guy was never gave up. This guy fought for his life. He fought for his name. It's a different scenario than he took drugs.
Right.
It's a different scenario than he set the world record. I like to be remembered as both. As the guy who fought that and cleared his name.
Yeah.
He wasn't a Ben Johnson. He wasn't the other athletes out there who have tested positive and never could clear their name. You know, I'm still doing the same thing. 34 years later, and since in my environment, my daughter just graduated from law school, and I'm proud of that.
Congratulations.
Thank you, because the environment was conducive for her to even to achieve that type of goal. So they didn't
Absolutely.
break me at all, and the family's doing good. So when it comes to that piece, it gives me energy that, okay, God know what he's doing. Why? This is the time now. That's why, that's what I'm going.
Absolutely. And we're super excited to watch it. ESPN Plus, as ESPN presents 30 for 30 with False Positive. You are the real MVP, and I know you got a lot of work to do, but whenever you have something going on, tell them you need to jump in the hot seat or the tan line, and you can consider it done, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you. I like the energy.
I know you have more work to do, so I'm gonna let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
I love you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Max 94.1, Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip hop and R&B. It's the voice inside your speaker box, LaTangela Fay. And I've teamed up with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, where Gordon gives and Tan cares. Well, in this season, we have something amazing going on. It's called our 225 Bulletin Board, where we highlight teachers and support team members that's pouring into these babies day in and day out. And usually when they call you to the principal's office, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
You have been placing your nominations by logging on to 225bulletinboard.com. And these nominations get harder and harder every single time because they're so heartfelt. And Maggie, she said, you know what? This one had so many nominations. I think we might need to dig into this. And we did. I said, we might need to get her in the building. And we did. Hello to none other than Miss Michelle Lewis James. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well this morning.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be here with us. I know that you are listed at Coppermill Elementary School, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been a teacher?
I have been a teacher 21 years.
Ma'am, you're just 22. Tell me how.
Exactly. I don't understand myself because I'm only 25.
That part. Well, your work has been going for so many years to where now we see that it has aligned with your purpose. It's definitely a passion of yours. And I'm not just telling you what I'm guessing. I'm telling you what I know because I have people watching everywhere.
Okay.
And I'm just going to read a little bit of one that was sent in at 225bulletinboard.com to nominate you. They stated that this teacher has taught my son for the last 2 years. She goes beyond just being his teacher. She makes sure that he's okay when he's homesick. When he forgets to tell me about a homework assignment, she remembers to tell him, hey, talk to your mom about this assignment. The gifts I give for Teachers Appreciation and Christmas is just not enough to thank her for what she does on a day-to-day basis. She knows my child. She loves my child. She loves all of the children, and all of the children love her too. Mrs. Lewis goes above and beyond to get it done, and teachers like her, they don't get the recognition that they truly deserve. She gives them this game to play, to study for their test, and I have questions that need answers about this game because I feel like I need to be a part of the classroom experience too.
Yes.
But with that being said, she stated that's what makes her a great teacher. She gets in with the children and she makes it so fun for them, and she incorporates a more fun style of learning for those with disabilities in the classroom, and we cannot thank her enough. So that's just one. Okay. So the impact that you're doing on a day-to-day, never think that it's unnoticed, and thank you for being a beacon of light in what many have deemed as dark times.
Right.
Now, just as a token of our appreciation, we selected you as one of our winners.
Oh, there we go.
And we are gifting you $250 and some space on some of our billboards just to say thank you.
Oh my God.
And this is our initiative of nurturing the future in the present. What you do, it does not go unnoticed. And we got a nice little gold gift bag for you. It's got a bunch of that G swag in it. And I just want to encourage the community to continue to send in those nominations at 225bulletinboard.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You are the real MVP, and don't you dare let them tell you differently.
Thank you.
So you continue to get it done.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning, sunshine. How are you?
Hello, Tan. How are you?
I am excellent. Even better now that I have you in the hot seat and on the tan line. I cannot tell you how excited I was when I saw this came across the desk and John said, we got Johnny Ferraro, the co-creator of American Gladiators. And I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that my all-time fave is coming back?
It is, man. We are out there looking for new contenders, and we're doing a complete nationwide search and giving people an opportunity to be part of this brand that's been history for so long.
Absolutely, because I can tell you the days and the evenings that I used to sit in front of the television with my grandparents and my mom, and it's always the lights, camera, the action, and just the awe of seeing how people would really throw themselves in the line of fire to compete and say, I think I've got this, until that plan gets distracted by this big force that says, rethink your situation.
It's so true, because what people don't understand, that the most dangerous obstacle is the human obstacle.
Right.
And you might get through things, but when you got a 6'5", 250-pound guy there saying, no, you're not, that's a whole different ballgame.
I know. Like, whenever you think about bringing things like this back, what are some of the highlights for you? I know it's like it can never grow old, but now that you're reinventing the wheel and you're reintroducing it to new audiences, what are some of the things that you really look forward to in this new season?
What I really look forward to is seeing another generation.
Yeah.
You go back, and some people's their grandparents were on Gladiators. They tried out, and then they tell their kids, and now it's their turn. And it's funny, because when I sit and I look at reruns from 89, 90, 91, 30 years ago,
Yeah.
you're able to go back in history and see yourself and show your family, I was part of this. And I don't know how many times people have says, thank you for letting me be a part of something much bigger than any one person.
Right.
And
Right.
it's funny. My son used to say, Dad, he says, it really does test your best. And I think that's a good way to put it. You test your best. If you think you have what it takes, and it's not only being in shape, you got to have the courage.
Yeah, that part.
Because, it is like the roughest show on television for, contenders. These aren't professionals. This isn't
At
like
all.
the UFC where
We
this
all
is
have
like
that dose of courage. And I think once you mix that with I think I can do it, the lights, the camera, the action, adrenaline, and it's like this little slight heartbeat that says, no, this is not that. This is real.
and not to mention, you're like representing your family, your friends, your city, because it really gets out there, and next thing you know, the whole town is rooting for you.
Right.
It really is something where you're really part of something, and laying it out there on the line for and it really does test you. It really does test you to say, I can do that. I always say, you're not going to throw a football for the 49ers, but you can get on American Gladiators.
It might be a lot easier to throw the ball for the 49ers, though. I'm super excited to let our listeners and our viewers know that Prime Video and the producers are currently looking for those who think they are brave enough, strong enough, and just got it in them. Because I've already been on the website. I'm halfway through with my registration. I put you down as a reference because I'm going to need you to tell them to call me. I already got my suitcase packed. AmericanGladiatorCasting.com. Again, that's AmericanGladiatorCasting.com. I have to warn you, though, in advance, this is not just taking a walk around the corner or jumping a rope a time or two. You might want to really think this through before you get on television, because we'll never let you live it down. But bring your best.
Yeah, you definitely have to bring your best, be in shape, and say your prayers.
Right.
Say your prayers.
It's a nationwide search, and the contenders, they are coming from all walks of life.
Yes, they are. They are from all walks of life. It doesn't matter. If you just think if you have it and you want to lay it on the line, try out. It really is. And what's really great, I don't know how many times I would, be talking to somebody and they say, I was, my husband entered me, or my best friend that didn't even apply, someone else applied for me. So, if you know someone that is in good shape and would like to be a contender or get them on TV, sign them up too. So
absolutely.
It's yeah. So when are you going to try out?
I'm ready now. But, and a sidebar, just in case the gladiator stops me in my track, because sometimes things happen and I may not be as strong or fast and tough as I think I am. I can help you out with the microphone too. So if you need a host or a co-host, I got you on that. But I will put on my running shoes and lace up my sneaks, or at least wear the Velcro kind, in case I need to instantly break out,
Well,
but I'm here for it.
we had a gladiator DJ, I'm sure you would win.
You know what? I'm in it. Now, you're bringing back the gauntlet. Are we doing the hang tough? What's like the ultimate challenge that I should prepare and brace myself for?
Yeah, we're bringing back the gauntlet, handcuff. We have the eliminator, which is great, and there's a lot of other great new games that we're adding too. I love the joust. The joust is like the trademark of gladiators, where you
Yes.
mano a mano, looking the other guy in the eye, and to me, that's one of my favorite. 10 feet in the air, and it's just you and your opponent. And it's just a lot of exciting stuff. And it's really nice on the show. There's a lot of camaraderie. There isn't a lot of combativeness. It's you're really friends. You're actually fighting your friend, and that's what's really funny. And everybody thinks that it's the gladiator, but it's really you're up against your other buddy. The gladiator's just a deterrent.
And you really feel
For
like
both of
you're
you.
up against the clock, but that's your heart beating through your throat. And that clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And there's so much that's going through your head in this moment. And don't forget that the world is watching. Now is the
They
time to
are,
make sure you're getting registered.
and they are watching forever, not just at
Yes.
one time. You're in forever. And now with streaming services, you're all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes it even
So
better. Everybody's walking around one of these devices in their hands. So there is absolutely no excuse for you to miss the action. American Gladiators, they're making the big return. Prime Video and all of the producers are looking for you. Bragging rights up for grabs. Of course, you're going to get your little stunts on with lights, camera, action. And when they say go, just do not freeze up. That's all I can say. Now is the time to run for your life and do what needs to be done. It's the ultimate test of speed and strength. And let's see what's on the other side of this clock.
you're right, Dan. You got it down. You really do, darling.
I am looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Christmas came early with this one. So make sure that you log in on AmericanGladiatorCasting.com. Again, that's AmericanGladiatorCasting.com. Is there a hard deadline that you want to put on this so I can make sure I finish my application on time?
Now, I don't think they do. I don't think there is a deadline on this. I think they're going to take them right up until they just can't anymore. I'm sure they're looking for a few out of the hundreds of thousands of people out there that are applying. So they're going to really get the best. They really want to find the
Absolutely.
best.
Good. And I'm looking forward to seeing these gladiators that you're going to have on the other side of these obstacles, too. Because I know you're only rocking with the toughest of them all. Once we see them, we're intimidated. So raise that bar and let's go.
Yeah, they got to be bigger than life. They have to be
Yes.
bigger than life.
And I know that you're busy,
All
but
right.
I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your schedule. You be sure to chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Well, thank you, Tan, and may you have blue skies and green lights forever.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Bye-bye.